Hi guys. Well, this is Monday. What's the date? I don't know. June. I don't know what it is. June 26th, maybe something like that. I don't know. But it's Monday. Back home. I can't get on the trail for a few days because my ride is working. So I'm taking this opportunity to put on a few more pounds and I'm still down like 30 pounds, but hopefully I can put back a few. And I ordered a new pack. I'm gonna go ultralight. I'm still lower in my weight. I'm gonna save another pound by going with this new pack. I ended up going with Hyperlite. Their new pack that they just came out with about a month ago here. It's called a Journey. It's similar to the Southwest. That particular pack is the #1 pack on the PCT and the CDT, and it's right up there with the ULA Catalyst here that I have, Circuit rather. Is ranked 1 and 2 right behind or right even with Hyperlite. But I will save a pound by going with this new pack. It's made of Dyneema, which is Cuban fiber. It's just a basic tube with shoulder straps on it, basically. That's it. And that's all I want. I don't want zippers. I don't want pockets. I just want a nice, it's waterproof. So I don't have to carry a pack cover anymore. I don't need to carry a separate contractor bag liner on the inside. I just have a couple of pods. I ordered a couple of their pods that go right into the backpack, which I'll keep my down top quilt and jacket in. The rest of my stuff is all in Ziplocs anyway, so that's it. I'll be saving some weight there. So I'm going to save at least another pound off my base weight. I'll be in Wednesday. When I get it, I will. I'll show you it. I can't give you a review because I haven't used it. But what I'm going to do right now is I have 1,000 miles into the trail. All of it's been with my ULA Circuit. And I'm going to show you the gear that I finally whittled down that I'm happy with right now. And I'm going to make a couple of changes for the next 1,000 miles. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you my setup here, how I pack my bag, why I pack it in this particular manner. And then just to help you out, you know, if you're new to this and you're trying to figure out how to pack your pack, this will give you a rough idea of the way I do it. It doesn't mean you have to do it the same way, but this is what's been working for me. This camera here keeps timing out every 10 minutes, so I'm gonna have to come back and reset it. And when I do that, I'll have the pack here in front of me and we'll start tearing it apart. Okay? All right. Okay. All right, let's start off with my trekking poles here. These are the Leckies. These are the carbon poles. It's the micros. Really happy with the Leckies. Have no issues with them. I keep my little camera tripod right on here. I have a roll of my Gorilla Tape on this one, and then I have a roll of Luca Tape here for any hot spots or blisters or even cuts or abrasions. You can use the Luca Tape, so I keep those handy right on here. And then you can see I use my 750 milliliter bottles, water bottles here. Some of you on the trail have asked me to give you a close-up, so there's the close-up on how you do it. Pretty easy. I like it. I've been doing it for years. keeps my body, keeps my upper body in tone. It takes 4 pounds off my pack because my water, well, a little under, it's like 3 3/4 pounds off my pack. Because these are not true liters, these are like 3/4 liter bottles. I've tried the 1 liter bottles. That's a little bit too heavy. I wouldn't advise going with the liter bottle. Go with the 3/4 liter. It just seems to work out better weight wise. So these are the poles. Not going to make a change. I like these. I've trusted all my weight on these poles so far, because they have the aluminum locking mechanism, not the plastic. So I'm really not worried about these here cracking. I've had others, other name brands where these locking mechanisms here were plastic and they've cracked. But this is the only lock adjustment is up here. This is all bungee. It's all telescopic. There's a big rubber band inside here. That's what keeps the pole together. I like that. I'm not a fan of having the 3 locks or the twist locks. The twist locks have never worked for me in the past. They all eventually slide, and when you got to put all your weight on a pole coming down, and you're on the edge of a cliff, I want to know that this pole is going to support me. I don't want to have to worry about, Jesus, is now the time it's going to slip. So anyway, these are the Leckies. Yeah, they're a little pricey. I think they cost me $125, but you get what you pay for. Don't go with the cheapy $30 trekking poles if you're going to be using them, to keep you, if you're going to rely on them for your safety. If you're just using it to stay steady, you're just going to use them to rock hop across little streams, yeah, the $30, $40 trekking poles will be fine. But on a trip like this, many a times, at the end of the day, I'm tired and I want to save my knees, so I always use my poles when I'm coming down, especially coming down a mountain. These poles are invaluable. So that's it for the poles, okay? I've had a lot of people asking about my shoes. These are the Hoka's. These are the Stetson AT5s. The AT5s came out this year. Last year they had the AT4s. I had no issues with the AT4s, but they said that the manufacturer had sent out a media or notice that they've improved on their soles. So I don't know, I don't feel a difference, but I am really happy with these. I'm seeing a lot of these on the trail lately. A lot of people are going to these because they are so comfortable. I have 1,000 miles on these shoes. I bought no break-in. I bought them. The first time I wore them was at Amicola Falls in Georgia. They do not need any break-in time. They are trail runners. When it's windy and cold, you can feel the wind going right across your toes. That's how they ventilate. When you walk in the water, yeah, your feet are going to get wet, but the water just comes right out, and in an hour or two, your feet are dry again, or pretty close to being dry, because that's how well they ventilate. Let me show you the tread. I have a lot of tread left. I'm going to say I have at least another 400 or 500 miles, probably 400 miles left on these shoes. I'm gonna hit the trail again in Connecticut here, New York line, with these same shoes. So what I also did, they come with the stock. This is the stock insole. It's probably 1/4 of an inch thick, and it's holding up good. But what I've also done, and I've been using these now for at least 3 or 4 years. These are foam inserts. I get them on Amazon. They're called Happy Step. These are new. I just put these in last week. So the first pair lasted about 900 miles. I did feel as though they were kind of getting a little stiff, or not as cushiony, I guess, after 900 miles. So I just put in another pair, and they are so between the sole of the Hokas, the cushion that they have in here, and then I add this hair cushion. I feel as though most of the day I feel as though I'm walking on a cushion. They're working for me, and for a lot of other hikers that I've run into now that have the Hokas on the trail, every single one of them has sworn they're so happy with them. You do have to go, if you're going to add another insole, you got to go up another whole size, because you're adding another 3/8 of an inch of padding in here. So when you try these on, if you don't have the insoles to bring with you to the store, make sure you go up a whole size, because once you put this other insole in there, or not insole, yeah, insole in there, it's going to make your foot too tight. All right, so that's it for the Hokas. I'm really happy with these. Let's get into the pack. Okay, so here's the pack. I'll just start off my hat because it's on the top here. I have a little hat in the morning because the sun is low, and I find on the trail I have trouble seeing the shadows, especially when I'm heading east and the sun is low. It's shining in my face. I like to have a little cap, a little, with a beak on here. It just keeps the sun from getting into my eyes, and I can see the trail better in the morning. That's the only reason why I have this. Other than that, I just leave it in my pack. So, but that's just a tip in the morning. And well, you don't have to worry about a sunset, because the sun will be behind you, unless you're doing the PCT or something, and you're above tree line. Then you may have problems with the sun being low. So anyway, this is a little tip for you. Just carry a baseball cap or something that's got a little visor on it, and that will help you in the mornings and in the late afternoons with that sun. Okay, here's my pack. This is the ULA Circuit. I also have the Catalyst. That's my winter pack. Right now I'm running about 35 pounds. That's with water. I have 2 liters on here. 4 days of food, and then my gear. So we'll take care of the outside here. This is my sit pack. I took a 5-foot pad and I cut it in half, and this is basically all you need just to sit on a rock. I use this on the ground, so when I step out of my hammock and I'm barefoot, I'm not stepping on mud, rocks, or grass. I step on this thing. And I'm very happy with this. This only comes in at about 4 ounces. You could carry the full 6-foot length if you want. I don't need it. So this is what I've done. I just use a cut up Thermarest Z-Lite, and that seems to work for me. Okay. On here. Yeah, I'm a little older, and I don't like to get out of my hammock at night, especially when it's rainy, it's cold, and I'm nice and warm. This is my pee bottle. It works great. A lot of people, they don't talk about it, but a lot of people have pee bottles, and a lot of women have the pee bottles too. You just got to get the peanut jar, because it's got a bigger mouth on there. It'd be a little easier for you aim-wise. But yeah, that's it. I just rinse it out every day, after I use it. I just rinse it out with water. That's all. On this side is a small Gatorade bottle. This one here I use for my morning coffee. As you know, I'm going without a stove now, and I use this here. I use a G7. I like my G7 coffee, and then I put a package of Carnation Instant Breakfast in here with my coffee. I shake it up, and this is my coffee cup. Now, at the end of the day, I put 2 inches of water in here, and this is kind of like my rock bag. I attach my line to hang my food to this carabiner, and I throw this whole thing over a limb. I don't have to look for rocks. Sometimes there are just no rocks to be found. This works great. I love it. It's never gotten hooked up there. A couple of people have now taken my idea, and they now use a little water jug for their to throw their beer line up over a tree. This just works. It's multi-use. It works good. So a little tip for you: just get a small water bottle. You can use it for your cold coffee. You can use it for juice, and you can use it to at the end of the day as a rock bag. Okay. So that's what I do there. I'm a fan of having 1 liter on my shoulder strap. I did the little sippy thing right here. This works out good, so I don't have to take it off. I just pop this rubber cap off. I squeeze the bottle because the straw goes all the way to the bottom. I just squeeze and I drink while I'm hiking. This has worked out very well. I'm going to keep this system. Comes right off if you want to take it off. So this is a full-size liter bottle. Again, it kind of puts a little weight on the forward side or the front side of your body to kind of counteract the weight that the pack is putting on your back. I've seen some people where they have 2 of them. They have 2 water bottles on the front. They don't put the water bottles in their side pockets. They keep them on the front, which makes sense too, because now you're kind of balancing out the weight. You're putting each one of these is 2 pounds, so you're putting 4 pounds on the front of your chest instead of having that extra 4 pounds on the back of your so anyway, that's I like this. I'm going to keep that system. That's worked out very well for me. The other thing, which was kind of an overkill, and I'm probably not going to do it again, but I have a 1-shot beer canister. It's just a little tiny thing. The bears are not going to be as bad up here. We have bears, and yeah, they come into camp. But I was paranoid down south. I've heard so many rumors where they were, attacking tents and stuff, which I didn't see any of that, but they were taking our food. So I'm probably going to leave this little thing home. But I got this at Cabela's. You get these little ones at Cabela's. You don't have to have the real big ones. This is only like 2 ounces, 2 or 3 ounces. Especially some of you women, if you want some protection against the 2-legged creatures that are on the trail, you just get a small beer canister like this. It'll work for you. This is my cell phone. This is where I kept my phone all the time, right in here. That worked out really well. I got this here from Gossamer Gear. Really happy with it. I'm going to keep it there. This is my digital thermometer. I got this at Campers World. Don't get the one that has the watch battery. They only last a month and then they corrode and they don't work. This one I've had the whole trip now. It's a solar panel on the back. It stays charged. And I look at this all the time so I can gauge what the temperature went down to at night. It has a high reading, and it has a maximum low reading on here, a memory, so you can see how low it got last night, and you can help determine your layering for the next night when you hear a forecast where the temps are going to go down to whatever temperature you've been monitoring. So I'm happy with this. This is like an ounce. But I use this all the time, so I'm going to keep that. That's been working out really well. Over here on this side, I usually keep a water bottle, and this is another liter. Depending on how far the water stretches are, I will keep this full, or I will just keep it in here empty. This is like a trail decision, depending on, again, how far the water resupply stations are. And this is my water filtration system. Everything is in here. I have my Sawyer filter, and I have my bag, and then I have my scoop cup. Everything fits in here nice and snug, and everything is together, so when I come to a stream and I need water, I don't have to go into my pack. Okay, so let's reset this, and we'll check the other side. Okay, on this side, I keep my rain tarp for my hammock. I like it here. I've always had it on the outside. If there's a storm, a shower coming, I can grab it quick, hang it between two trees and get underneath it. If it's wet, when I pack it up in the morning, I don't have to stick it in my pack all wet. It just sits right here in this on this side of my water bottle pouch here. Comes right out. This is Cuben fiber. You've seen it set up at camp, but this is my rain fly for my hammock setup. That's on the outside. I keep all my stakes right here also, so I can stake it out really quick. I use these here aluminum 9-inch stakes. They come from Hyperlite up in Maine. The only stake that I recommend anybody using. Don't use the shepherd hooks. They come right out of the ground. They have no holding power. The groundhogs, they bend. A lot of people have just bent them in half, because when you get in the hard pan, you can put this in the ground, and then you take your foot and you just push it. You just step right on it, and it goes right in. I've never had any problem bending. None of these have ever bent on me. I've had no issue. None of these have ever come out of the ground. Highly recommend these. They're super light. They're aircraft aluminum, I believe. I carry 9, 1 spare. Actually, these make a good weapon too. I had a ranger tell me, if you ever have a problem with a bear or even a human, grab one of your tent stakes, which would be one of these, and you use this. And if you hit somebody with this here, you don't have to stab them, but all your force is on a point. And if you take anything, a nail, anything, and you hit yourself with it, it hurts. People are going to let go. If somebody's grabbing you, if you're fighting a bear and he's got your arm or your leg, and you take this here stake and you start hitting that bear, he's going to let go. It is extremely painful when you get hit with something like this with a point. So these, keep that in mind too. And I didn't realize that until the ranger. I had a talk with the ranger a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about that. And it made a lot of sense, and I tried it too. I mean, you take that and you stop poking yourself. I'm not hitting myself hard, but I'll tell you, if I were fighting with somebody and they had this and they really hit me with it, believe me, I'd be letting go. So that's a little tip for you. If if you get the right stakes, you can use them as a defense mechanism. So here's the other water bottle. Sometimes it's full, sometimes it isn't, depending on how far my water resupplies are. That's it. Now on the back pouch, here are my tags, my AT through tag. I don't know if you people know, but my number was 1286 when I started on March 21st. So there were almost 1,300 people ahead of me. I don't know how many are left. Actually, I did sign in at Harper's Ferry, and the through hiker number last week was a little under 700. So only 700 people have made it, or has signed the halfway point at Harper's Ferry. So there's probably 3/4 of the people that started have dropped out. Maybe even more than that. Because if I'm at 1,300, and that was in March, the last report I got was well over 3,500 people started at Amicalola Falls. And as of last week, again, like 680 something have made it that far. So a lot of people have dropped out. And then this is just an AT tag that I've always carried whenever I'm on the AT. I don't know why, and I just like it. But I've had a lot of hikers ask me where I got this. They thought they missed a sign-in somewhere. I said, oh, no, that's just a personal tag that I carry with me. You didn't mess up. You didn't skip a sign-in, so don't worry about it. So what I have found is a lot of hostels, public campgrounds. Some of them are pretty nasty, and I do not like to take showers in them barefoot. So I have a couple of sandals. I've only worn these a couple of times around camp. Mainly I have these for when I'm in town and I'm at a hostel or I'm at a campground and I'm taking a shower in a public area. It just keeps me from getting foot fungus. Always carry sandals. These things are like, they're like 2 ounces each. I think it's well worth carrying. And sometimes around camp, I will wear these if I'm not walking too far. I won't wear these to go get water down a hill or anything. But around camp, these are good to let your feet dry out. Don't wear socks with them. Just put your toes in here, and you know, it saves walking on stones and roots and stuff. So I keep those right on the back here. I also have my poop bag. This has my TP in it, hand sanitizer, baby wipes, and that's about it. And it's a watertight bag, so I keep that here. This is always handy. I can pull it out immediately. What else we got back here? All right. This is my new rain jacket from North Face. Oh, Z-Packs, emailed them 3 times about their rain gear. They're not doing anything. Basically, they said, hey, that's our rain gear, and there's nothing wrong with it, but there is something wrong with it. It freaking leaks. They don't want to hear it. They just take your money and that's it. As a thru hiker, as a hiker who has bought their gear and is not happy with it, I'm telling you, do not buy anything from Z-Packs. You can't even call them. They have so many complaints, they don't even have their phone number listed. You cannot call them at all. You have to email them, and it's up to them if they feel like they want to get back to you. So with that kind of business ethics, I say stay away from Z-Pack. I've had extremely bad luck with them. I do not recommend you using Z-Packs. I've had bad luck with their packs. I've had bad luck with their rain gear, and now I'm having an issue with my tent. It's leaking. So I do not recommend Z-Pack as a reputable cottage vendor. Like I said, you can't even get a hold of them. So I am really happy that I went with the North Face jacket. I had to wear this in a couple of rainstorms already, and I was dry. I was dry underneath this thing. So that's my rant on Z-Pack. They can take their gear and shove it. Not happy with them at all. All right. I have some baby wipes here. The last day when I was in the one of the stores, I just needed to take a shower really bad the other day, so I was just going to do my whole body with baby wipes, but I ended up hiking all the way into town, so I didn't need it. Okay, we have a pack cover from Z-Pack. It did keep my pack dry, but it's too small. It only goes to here, so when I had driving rain here, everything in my pockets would get wet. So again, a Z-Pack product that did not work. Man, oh man. These are little bags, like Walmart bags. I double them up, and if I know I'm going to be in heavy rain, I put my foot in there with my socks on. I put the bag over my foot, then I put this in my shoe, and my feet stay dry for at least a half a day. So if you don't want foot fungus and you are going to be hiking in the rain and you have trail runners, put your feet in Walmart bags. You got to double them up though, and you'll have dry feet for at least a half a day with them. And then you got to change them out because they do wear. You do get little holes in there. That's about it. Oh, wait a minute. A couple of other things here. These are my rain pants. These are Z-Pack rain pants. The only reason why I'm keeping these is because I use them as wind pants. They're just like the jacket. My pants and my legs were soaking wet when I wore these in the rainstorm, but they're super light. I'm just going to use these again as wind pants when I get up in the whites and I'm trying to get over the presidentials and it's cold and windy. Because I don't have long pants, I will use those. I have spray here because the bugs are out, and I usually just spray my legs and I spray my arms, and this Repel works good. It's DEET free. I really want to stay away from the DEET. This is one of those Cool Max headbands. I haven't used it yet. I don't know why. I keep forgetting it's in here. I'll probably leave that home because I haven't used it. I bought that a month ago and haven't used it. This is just a hand towel that I keep. I can wipe down my top. I can wash my feet. I use this all the time. I hang it on the back here to dry during the day. It's a cheapy old hand towel. This thing comes in handy. You got to have a rag or something to do just little cleanups. So this is my little rag, and that's it. Let me set the phone back and we'll start going on the inside. Okay, let's do the pockets. Okay, on this side, I have my headlamp. I carry a pen with Luca tape on it. I have my bug head net, which I will start to use now that I'm in Connecticut. It weighs less than an ounce, maybe 1 ounce. I just carried this the whole time. But I will be using it now. I have safety pins, so when I put my wet socks on the back here or anything, I always use a safety pin to lock it. I do not want to lose more. I already lost a shirt on the trail once. I don't want to start losing socks, so I got some baby safety pins, and you just, as secondary security, you lock that stuff on your pack. I have a Sharpie because I was mailing packages back and forth, so I have that. Sunblock because I'm prone to burning on my ears and my nose. This is Bullfrog. You don't need much, just a little dab, and you can put that on. Aloe vera lip balm sunscreen for my lips, especially now that I'm going to be going above tree line. I don't want to get any burning on my lips. This is my little cell phone holder that goes on my tripod. Earplugs, these are the silicone. These are the only ones that really not take out the noise from bullfrogs and people snoring next to you. The foam ones don't work. You want to get these silicone ones. They really, really work. This is my emergency light kit in case I have, I'm cold and I'm getting hypothermia or something. This is a flint. Get these at Walmart. They're really cheap, but boy, do they work good. They work even if they're wet. And then I have a mini lighter here for my stove. I may be going back to the stove. I haven't decided. This is a neck knife. I probably am not going to bring this again. I used to hang this on my neck. Beautiful knife. I mean, but the only time I used it was to cut cheese. Cut cheese and sausage. So I'm probably going to, and this thing weighs, you know, probably 5 ounces. It's a little bit heavy. So probably going to leave that one back. I'm not going to go with that one again. I did have a little pocket knife here, which this is the one I'm going to keep. It'll do. It'll cut my sausage and cheese in open packages. This is my little stylus for my phone because I have a touch screen. So at night when I'm in my hammock, I use this here to do the editing instead of using my finger. This is just like the Note series, the Samsung Note. I don't have the Note anymore. I upgraded to the S10 Plus, but you can still use these little pens on your phone. So that's what this is right there. What else we got here? Spare battery for my headlamp. I keep that in there and I keep that charged at all times. And this is a spare rubber cap for my water bottle that goes on my shoulder strap right here. In case I lose one, I have a little spare one right in here. Okay, let's flip this around. We'll do the other side. The other side, I don't have much in here. Basically, I have my charging port here and a cable for my phone. So if I get into a restaurant or a store, I can charge my phone instead of having to rely on my charge cells. These are Rave 10,000 milliamps each. I carry 2 of these. I have run one of these dry, and I have a second as a backup. I have yet to go into the second, but I have run this one dry where I've had no power, and luckily I was going into town and I was able to recharge the phone and this one right here. But I like having a second one as a backup, as an emergency, especially now that I'm in New England. I may not be, hotel rooms, everything is so much more expensive. The cheapest room you're going to get up here is probably $120, $125 now. We're down south. We could get rooms in a hotel for $66, $50. Things are just double the price up here. So I'm probably not going to be going into towns as often. So I will probably be draining the second one down. So I'm going to keep the 2 of them. I have just a couple of dollars that I leave in here for quick access if I need, actually there's like $5 in here. If I come to a store and I just want a drink or a little something, a snack, I don't have to go in the bottom of my pack to get my wallet. I just have a couple of bucks right here. This is Tums. I keep a few Tums. I haven't had to use them, so I may put this in a little smaller container and just carry a half a dozen. That will get me through one day or a night, and then if I have some sort of heartburn problem, the next town I go into, I'll get a bottle. But I'm not going to carry a whole thing of that because I haven't had that issue. I have in the past, but I haven't here. I have a whole Ziploc here of Aleve. I have yet to take Aleve. So I'm probably, again, just going to get one of those little tiny pill Ziplocs, and I'm just going to take a half a dozen. Just keep a half a dozen. I have a second pair of earplugs. These are really important, so I carry 2 sets. And this is my permit. I forgot to leave it. Oh well. This is my permit for the Shenandoah Park. You're supposed to leave actually, I didn't even see the box. I don't know where they put the box. When I left the Shenandoah Park, I must have walked by it, or maybe there isn't. I don't know. But anyway, that's my permit for Shenandoah. And that's it. That's it for the whole outside. So let me put this stuff away, and then we'll go inside. Okay, let's go in the inside here. Show you how I pack this. This is my poncho. Really like this thing. I've used this a couple of times already now, and really happy with it. Got it on Amazon. It's only like a $19 poncho, but it's made to go over a backpack. It really kept me dry and cool. I wasn't clammy underneath. It came all the way down to my knees. This is going with me all the time, especially on these trips. Highly recommend the poncho versus the rain gear. I like the rain gear in the morning, or if you're traversing a windy ridge, because your rain jacket's like a wind jacket. Basically, it is. It's a wind jacket / rain jacket. The poncho would probably not work as well up in exposed areas where it's windy, because it's not a piece of clothing that really hugs you. It's pretty loose, and it would just blow. It'd be out like a flag on you. So you kind of need your rain gear, but for 90% of the time you can get away with a poncho, especially on the AT when you're in the green tunnel. There's no wind. You're just getting the rain that's coming off the trees or the rain that's making it through the canopy. Highly recommend a poncho. Really worked out good. This is my it's a peanut butter jar. This is my soaking container. This is basically my cook kit. This is it. You women, you could use this as your pea jar too, because it's got a wide opening there. So I would put red tape on here or something, because you don't want to be using this for dual purpose, for cooking and for your other duties. But this is my this is it. For summertime, this is my cook kit. It worked out pretty well. All right, for my food, I have these, what do you call these gear bags here? They're Granite Gear. It comes in a set of 3 bags. They're different sizes and they're different colors. This is where I keep my food. I'm really, really happy with these, because they're like pods, and the zippers open through the center, and you can see everything that's in the bag. So this particular bag, my small bag, is like my ditty bag. I carry my bear line in here. I carry my peanut butter, my coconut oil, toothpaste, my vitamins, my spoon, and then I also have another little container right here, because I like to do wraps and pockets, and some of the meals I get, I only want to mix up a little bit of it, because I don't want to have the whole mountain house or pantry. I don't want to mix up a whole meal if I'm only going to have a sandwich or 2. So I use this little peanut butter cup to mix up enough of those sandwich spreads with water for that particular meal, instead of having to waste a whole meal and then throwing it away or something. So that's what this little one is for. And if I have any leftovers from a dinner or something sometimes I'll get tangerines, I'll peel them, and I'll load this thing with tangerines, so I can eat tangerines for 2 days and not have to worry about throwing my peels off into the trail. The tangerines all pack in here really nice. They don't get squished in my food bag. You just open these up and you can pull out a couple of tangerines if you want to munch on them during the day. So that's what I've used this mainly for, is for my tangerines. And it works out really good. I'm happy with it. So that's what this little bag is right here. And it's yellow, so I know exactly what's in here. It's my ditty bag, food ditty bag. This particular bag is strictly snacks. It's not breakfast, dinner, or breakfast. It's all snacks. It's got my coconut chip cookies in here, my roasted almonds in here. I allowed 1 Musketeer bar per day as a treat. In the last several weeks, I've only eaten 1, so I'm still carrying 4 Musketeers because I'm getting off of sugar. Sugar's the worst thing for you. Pure sugar, anyway, is the worst thing for you on the trail. it does more damage than it does good. These are my Fritos. I keep Fritos in here. Again, this bag is all snacks. And then in here I have not freeze dry. I have hydrated oranges. These are super good. I like these. They're light. They have some vitamins left in them, but they're dehydrated, so you don't have they're not as heavy as the natural. What else is in here? Oh, and lately I've been eating cocoa at night for my dessert. Cocoa is supposed to be really good for you. I've done some research on it, so you want over 80%. If you look for this, like at Walmart, you can get as high as 95% cocoa, but it's just kind of bitter. I don't like it. I like the 80-85%. So I usually have a little piece of this for my dessert after I eat. So that's in here also. And then I also have here my electrolytes. What's this little bag right here? Oh, cheese. I keep my string cheese in here. This stuff will last for a week, no problem. So again, this little bag, and it's getting down there because I was getting at the end of my food supply for the week. But this little bag is all treats. Okay, down to my main bag. This is the third bag you get in the kit. You can get these at REI. Amazon sells this. It's again a 3-bag kit. And this is my food bag. I have all my dinners in here, my lunches, and my breakfasts. This is just a little flexible cutting board that I cut a circle out of. And when I'm doing a wrap or I'm making sandwiches, I put this on the table, and then I put my bread on here and I make my sandwiches on here. Those tables are disgusting. They have mice that run over them. People put their shoes on the table. You just don't want to be you don't want to be cooking or making your meals, especially sandwiches, right on those tables that are at the shelters. So I have my little, and then I just wash it clean. So it helps keep your food a little more sanitized by using these. This is something, because I'm more into carbs and pasta, I was going to try this the next couple of days if I was going to stay on the trail. They're not that heavy. They weigh 6 ounces. This one weighs 7 ounces, but it's pasta and Bailey and pesto. And then I have another one right here that's another pasta. They're pre-cooked. You can eat them right out of here, or you can add a little hot water to them. Because I don't have a stove, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to these things, let them sit for an hour, and I'm going to eat them right out of the package. These look really good. They're going to give me, the carbs that I need for my dinner. So there's a little treat for it. A little idea. Basically in here I have my oatmeal, coffee. I have my dinners. This is my chicken salad sandwiches that I make in that little jar I told you about. You just make wraps or pockets. And for my lunches I like these tuna packets. They have them in a dozen different flavors now. If you go to Walmart, you'll see them all lined up there. Starkiss and some of the other brands. And I'm getting away from wraps. Wraps are just a filler. They only give you 15 calories. They're useless. So I've been switching over to these pockets. I think these are like 60 calories each. This is like 9 grain. You eat them like a wrap. You open them up, you put all your stuffing in there, whatever you want, peanut butter and jelly or tuna fish or whatever you want to have lunch. And they pack up really nice, and they're not as heavy as those wraps either. So that's what I have in here. So basically this bag, like I said, is my main meals, all my main meals. I can carry I have 4 days in here now. I can carry, if I stuff this, 6 days of food in here. And then if I have more food, I also have another little bag that I can hang in the tree, or I can throw a couple of meals in one of the other bags that are not full. But this one here fits right in my pack nicely. It fills up the whole pack, and then I put the other two right on top of it. It's a nice pod system that has worked out for me. They're waterproof or highly water resistant. I'm happy with it. I got away from the single bag that you have to reach down and try to figure out what you want. You can open it up and you can see everything that's in there and you grab what you want. So another little idea for you. All right, I'll be back. I got to reset the camera. Okay, now you notice I kept my food up at the top because usually that's what I'm getting into during the day. Now we're going to get into a couple of layers here. This is my spare food bag in case I have excess food, like sometimes I'll grab a bag of potato chips or something. I can roll this up and I can just strap it to the top of my pack. It just keeps it from getting wet. This is super light. This is just a nylon food bag that I have. It's a small one. This is only a medium, and it works good. It's nice to have extra storage. So and I've used that several times, so especially coming right out of town after a resupply. You always end up with a little bit more for a couple of days. This is my rain hat. I like this. It's got a nice 3-inch brim, and when it's raining, it keeps the water from getting on my glasses here. It keeps the water from, just going down my neck. And also I've used this when I was crossing some fields. It was really sunny and hot and the sun was beating down. So I've used this here as a sun hat also. So I highly recommend a rain hat. This is from OR. I got this at REI. It's a rain hat. I didn't get wet underneath here at all. If you use it as a sun hat, though, it does get a little hot in here. So hopefully I wouldn't use it on the PCT. I would have a regular straw hat for it down there. But in New England, if you're just crossing a field, cornfield or something, especially up here in New England, we have a few of them, that will work fine. Okay, this is my synthetic puffy. I keep that kind of up top because when I get in, if I stop for lunch and I've been sweating, I take this off and I'll just put on my synthetic puffy. It keeps me warm, keeps me from getting a chill. I keep it in a separate little bag right here because it is water resistant. It has a DWR coating on it, and I just keep that right here at the top for quick access. And that's like right underneath my food bags. This is my hammock. I keep that right up here. Don't have to explain. This is just my hammock. That's what I sleep in. And then right next to that is the straps that I wrap around the trees that I hook my hammock to, that I hang from. So that's this little ditty bag right here. That all stays together. That's that layer. Now I have one bag here. This is my spare clothes bag. In here, I'm going to be revamping this a little bit. I carry 3 pairs of socks. That worked out really good. I used to carry 2, but I found if I had a rainy day or a couple of rainy days, then I had no dry socks. So this last month, I've had a 3rd set, which is my Indingi toe socks. If I can find them. Here are the Indingi toe socks. I swear by these. I have yet to have a blister with these toe socks. They really work good. So usually 1 pair I can get away with wearing them 2 days in a row. Then I'll wash them out and I'll hang them on the back of my pack, especially if it's a sunny day and the sun will dry a pair of socks for me, and I still have that 3rd pair as a backup. So that's why I recommend carrying 3 pairs of socks, and then 1 dedicated pair just for sleeping. You'll only sleep in that dedicated pair, okay? And And this is just clothes. This is my hiking clothes. Boy, this bag is ripe. I haven't done my laundry yet. But basically, this is the hiking clothes that I'm going to be going with. I really like these running shorts. They're by Henley, I think it is, with the H. And this is just a synthetic. I was wearing this here synthetic. It's by Columbia. It's called a Ridgeline. I'm not a fan. I thought I was going to be a fan of the long sleeves. I never used the long sleeves. I always roll these things up. And then my arms couldn't breathe, so these things would get soaking wet from perspiration. So I'm probably going to leave this one home now. And this is the shirt that I'm going to wear for hiking for the next 1,000 miles. It's a short sleeve shirt. It's super light. It's like the Ridgeline version. It dries in like 30 minutes. You just hang it up on a tree and it dries. So this is my hiking setup right now. And I'm going to have a pair of my summer thermals. I'm going to use those for sleeping. And in the morning when it's cool, I can always hike out of camp with them underneath this here. So at least my arms will be covered and I'll be warm. And then after an hour or two, I'll just take off my thermals and just wear my hiking gear. So that's basically for clothes. I don't have much clothes. I'm not going to go with town clothes. That's a whole pound I'm going to eliminate. When I get into town or I get into a hostel, I'm just going to wear my rain pants and either my rain jacket or a lot of times they have loaner clothes that you can wear for an hour while your clothes is being washed. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to eliminate my camp clothes. I'm only going to carry my sleeping clothes, which will be my summer thermals and some fancy nylon boxer briefs that I'll wear over. Because if it gets really, really hot at night, I don't want to wear my thermal pants, so I'll just wear my boxer briefs. Do I have them here? No, I'll show you too. Next time I reset the camera, I'll show you the shorts that I'm going to wear for sleeping. So that's it. That's the only clothes I have. Basically, that's my hiking clothes that I wore the last couple of weeks with the 3 pairs of socks. My bandana and my do-rag that I had up here on my shoulder. So that's what's in there. That was the next layer. And then on the very bottom, what's in here? Oh, this is my sleeping socks. I have a pair of Fox liners that if it's a real hot night, I'll just wear these. And if it's a cooler night, I have a pair of light wool socks that I wear strictly for sleeping. That's all this is for. What else we got here? Okay, then we have miscellaneous. This is my InReach. I don't think I have to explain that. Every night, wherever I end up, I send my wife a notification. It sends her a Google map with a dot on it, exactly where I am, so she can find me. If she doesn't hear from me in 24 hours, she knows where I was on that last report. This is my repair kit. It's got sewing tape in here. It's got needles, thread, repair tape for my top and different things. What else is in here? Small toe clippers. I'm finding with this heat, I got to do my nails. I have to do my nails every couple of weeks. So I ended up just getting a small nail clipper, and I just keep it with me now because I am using it quite a bit. This is my electronics bag. There isn't much in here now. A couple of cables, SD cards. That's about it. I mean, you saw my charger, my other cable for my phone is over there. I had that out earlier. So that's what's in there. I've been rubbing my feet now with this O'Keefe Healing Feet Cream. It comes in this little blue tube. It's really helped my feet. My feet were getting dry and starting to crack, and I was getting these really tough calluses on my heels and on the side of my toes. since I've been using this here the last couple of weeks, it has softened my feet and it's made my feet a little more pliable, and my feet just feel better. So I'm probably going to keep doing this every night. I apply a thin layer of this on my feet, especially the bottom and the sides. Then I put my nighttime socks right over that so that that cream doesn't get on everything. And the next morning, my feet are nice and rejuvenated. So I really, this has been working out good for me. Again, it's O'Keefe foot cream. You'll get it. You can see it. CVS has it. Walmart has it. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, this is, I'm highly allergic to bee stings. This thing weighs a pound. I'm going to go through here and reduce some of this. Two things I have to carry though is I carry 2 EpiPens and I have to carry a little package of Benadryl. But I have a lot of other stuff in here that I may end up leaving. I have super strong ibuprofen, pharmacy grade. I have 30 days of Lyme antibiotics. I'll probably cut that down to 1 dose, 15 days, in case I get a bite from a tick. My doctor gave me a prescription for two prescriptions for 2 sets, two bites. So I'll probably cut that in half and just keep one set. And then I always have an extra roll of TP. It's my biggest nightmare is a run out of TP. Don't want to do that. All right, let me reset the phone, and I have one more layer in here that's at the very bottom, and I'll get into that. Okay, guys, this is my sleep gear. I'm not taking camp clothes or town clothes. I've decided not to do that. It's going to save me another pound. I really don't need it. All I need is hiking clothes, which is what I'm wearing, like I said earlier, and then I just need sleep clothes. That's all I need. So I don't need town clothes. So for my summer, when the nights are like in the 70s, it's really hot and muggy. These are just my my boxer shorts here. They're kind of silky. They're very comfortable. This is all I want. I don't want anything tight. And then I have a wicking t-shirt that I will wear in my hammock if it's super hot. So this is my warm evening sleepwear. That's it. That's all I have. This comes in at 6.5 ounces right there. Now, because I'm now entering New England and I'm going to be in the whites, a lot of people are not thinking about this, but it's going to get cold up there. We'll get some cool nights. We'll get some warm nights too. But these are my summer thermals. These are Patagonia. They're just light. I don't even know if they're midweight. They're just light summer thermals. If it's a cool, windy morning, or I'm trying to get over Mount Washington or Mount Adams or any of those, and the wind's howling, I can wear these underneath my hiking shorts, and I can put my rain pants over them, and I should be nice and warm. I won't have any issues there. If I'm soaking wet, I got caught in a rainstorm, I'll have dry clothes to put on when I get to camp. Even though they're my sleeping clothes, a lot of the hikers walk around in thermal wear around camp. I noticed that last week down in Virginia. So it makes sense. Why carry another pair of clothes if you can hang around camp in your sleep clothes? Why not? It's a big slumber party anyway. You get to really know people pretty well, especially if you're sleeping with them in a shelter. 6 inches apart from each other. There's no changing rooms. You get to know people. So anyway, and this is my top, same material, Patagonia. I'm going to call it a mid layer, but it's probably a light layer. So I'll wear this underneath this shirt if it's a cool night. Actually, not this, because this will be my hiking shirt. Oh, right here, the t-shirt. I can wear these two together if it's really cool, or I'll just wear the two of these. But this is my secondary clothes system in case I run into wet weather and I'm getting hypothermia. I have something to get into to save me. And then I also, which I didn't take down south, and I regretted it. Last week we had a cold night, and I shivered all night because I didn't even have a hat. I ended up putting my bandana on my head, but I am bringing a lighter. I guess this is like a fleece hat. This is just my shoulder season hat to sleep in, because you do lose a lot of heat through your head. I realized that last week when I got caught in that one night cold spell that we had. And again, going into New England, we're going to have a few more of them. So I'm going to be taking my nighttime beanie hat with me, just because I'm in a totally different climate zone in New England. And living up here, I know how things can go. So I'm just preparing. Should be no difference in weight-wise, because I'm taking away my town clothes and I'm just adding different sleepwear. That should balance out, so I don't have to worry about adding more weight. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Again, when you come into New England, you just need a few more things. I mean, we'll get nights 70, 75 degree lows, but they're going to be rare. And we'll get some nights where it's going to be, I did the Pemi Loop in the Whites, the dog and I, last August. It was the second week of August, and we had temperatures of 39 degrees. That was at the top of Mount Liberty. I was stealth camping, and I knew the temperatures were going to go down. And this is the thermal wear that I brought, and I did bring my underquilt, and we stayed nice and warm. So it can happen in August in New England. Just don't. If you're watching this and you're working your way up north, you need to take an extra layer of clothes. Bring a puffy, bring another puffy. That's the other thing I wanted to show you too. I am bringing my vest. I have a Arc'teryx down vest that I don't want to take my long sleeve down, but I will take the vest just to give me a little more warmth. And I can hike in that. Usually that's what I hike in, because I don't need, my arms can take the cold, my legs can take the cold, but your core, you got to keep your core warm. So if it's a cold morning, I'll just wear the shirt with my down vest and I can hike on. And then, my armpits are venting and I'm not going to worry about sweating with it. That has worked out really well. So I am taking that. That's 5 ounces. So that's 5 ounces that I don't have now, but it will come in handy, so keep that in mind. When you get up here into New England, you're going to need that extra layer, just in case, because you're going to be up again over 4,000. You're going to be a couple of weeks over 4,000 feet up and down, so you need to pay attention. That's it. All right, on to the next segment. Okay. Don't have much, believe me. All right, this is, that's it. The bag is empty. This is the ULA circuit. I'm very, very happy with it. No issues at all. No shoulder pain like I had earlier this year. I didn't even think I was going to be able to make the trip. This thing handles, I would say the comfort rating is around 30, 35 pounds. I've had 44 pounds in here at early days of the beginning of this trip when I was trying to figure out my gear and food. It held it okay. No issues with it at all. The only issue I have is it weighs a little shy of 3 pounds. Because of all the other straps that I put on here. This new pack that I'm getting comes in at 1 pound, 8 ounces, or 1.8 1.88, so a little under 2 pounds. So I'm going to save at least a pound by going with this other pack. Maybe a little bit more because now I don't have to carry a rain cover with the other pack, the new one that's coming in, and we'll give that one a try. It's totally different from this one. It's one of those. It's an ultralight pack, so we'll see how that works. I may or may not take it. I'm going to load it up and walk around here for an afternoon. We have some conservation land back here. The dog and I will do a good 6-mile, 7-mile walk, see how it fits before I take it out on the trail. 'Cause I don't want to have to deal with shipping stuff back and forth, so we'll work on that. So this is it. Very happy with the ULA. Highly recommend it. I'm just switching out because of weight. That's it. Okay, so at the bottom of that, these are the Claire Gossamer Gear bag liners. They're $10. You get 2 in the package. Pretty happy with them. They're super light. They're not as heavy as the contractor bags, and they're not as big as the contract. Those contractor bags are made for a 55-gallon drum. So you get those bags weigh 4 ounces. So they're pretty heavy. So I've been using the Gossamer Gear liner bags. They're made to fit right in your backpacks. And this one I cut down a little bit because I was trying to save a little bit of weight. And the only thing I put in here is my air mattress and my top quilt. So this here goes in my pack like this. It keeps, if any water seeps in the bottom of my pack, at least my stuff is dry. And then I have my other bag that was right on top of here that had my clothes in it that was separate. And I like to have 2 bags because I can just reach in my backpack and I can just grab the whole bag and all the contents come right out. So in here, this is my 40-degree Enlightened top quilt, and it's in my Snizzle. This is a bag that you use to blow up your air mattress. This is the Exped air mattress that I've used in my hammock. I may not be going with this. I may be going back to my underquilt, especially because I'm going in New England. I'm going to be up at 4,000 feet. I'm going to be at higher elevations, and being in New England, it's going to be colder, cooler. So I may leave this. This weighs 1 pound, 3 ounces, where my underquilt weighs right around a pound. It's a 20-degree underquilt. So I may just go right with the underquilt. It'll keep me warmer, and there won't be any weight. It'll be the same weight difference, if not maybe a little bit less, because now I don't have to carry this here Snizzle bag. I can just, I have a watertight Dyneema pod bag that's made for this new pack that's coming, and it fits right in the bottom of the pack, and that's where you put all your down gear in. It's watertight, and it's so anyway, that's coming, and it'll be a lot lighter than this bag right here. So that's, and then I have my pillow. Gotta have a pillow. So this comes in at like 2.5 ounces, something like that. This is just the Cedar Summit pillow. You get these REI has. We get them on Amazon. This is the small one. You don't need the big one. This is the small one. Super comfy, soft. I just like it. So that's my luxury item, is my pillow. So that's it. That's all that was in my pack. My base weight without food and water was 21 pounds. We're going to get that down. Before I hit the trail at the end of the week here, I'm going to be under 20 pounds. I don't know how low, but I'm going to be down there. I'd like to get down to 18 pounds base weight. Yeah, that's not ultra light, but it's light. And for this for my comfort level, that's the gear I need. I'm not going to be in the 12-pound, 10, 12-pound range. I just think the gear that you're allowed to take with a pack that low is you're just on the edge of disaster. One bad decision weather-wise, you could be in serious trouble. So I want my extra clothes. I want my rain jacket, and I want my poncho. I don't want to have to leave any one of those things back here. You know, I want, you know, my comfort. I want my air mattress, or I want my underquilt. Just some things that I want that will enhance my enjoyment and safety on the trail. And I think that's going to bring me to a weight of around 18 pounds. I'm just going to have to live with it. I'll be happy with that. I would be happy to have a 10-pound base weight, but that's not going to happen. It's not in my future. I'm just not going to go there. So anyway, hopefully this has helped you. You know, if you're trying to figure out your gear, I just did 1,000 miles. I've done well over 3,000 other miles on other trails over the last 10 to 12 years. I'm guessing now I have pretty close to 4,000 miles on trails. I got my gear dialed down for what works for me. Maybe this will work for you, or the worst case, it gives you some ideas and something to think about. And so I will, when I get my new pack, the Journey from Hyperlite, I'm going to get that Wednesday in 2 days. I will load it all up, and I will give you I'll give you a review of the pack, but it won't be a performance review because I wouldn't have been able to take it out and try it yet. So let's look at that. I'm hoping I can get my weight down another couple of pounds, and I'm getting ready to hit New England. We're going to do it. I'm going to start at the New York, Connecticut line, and we're going to Katahdin. Okay, see you in another couple of days here, and I'll give you another report. All right.